Hello, my friends of the internet. This is Diana. So, this big chunky boy is my one spread a day sort of journal that I started in April 2nd, 2025. And I am just about to finish it. I want to do a flip through of the second half of the year because I already did a flip through of the first half in a short form. So I will link that below. Okay, we left off with me being a little bit nervous with going on a trip without a responsible adult. Although I am the responsible adult in this case, I feel like I need a more responsible, like a real adult with me. After I came back from the trip, I collected all the ephemera and did a makeup journal of the time I spent in China. I actually went to Europe, but the European trip has been recorded in another video with a whole vlog kind of format. I will also link that below. That is something I'm very proud of, so please check it out. Okay, this spread is dedicated to Chengdu. I was there from July 14th to the 18th. So the stuff I did in Chengdu: first, getting jet lagged. Second, I visited a lot of stationery stores. Third, I went to see pandas, giant pandas. And number four, I went to a few touristy places with a relative there. So here is the panda ticket. It was kind of a ripoff because, okay, so here is a hot tip. If you want to see giant pandas in Chengdu, please avoid the summer season because A, there are too many people, and B, pandas don't like hot weather, which means if it is hot outside, they will actually move inside where there is air conditioning, which also means pandas are very comfortable inside, but the humans are cramped outside with only fans to cool you off, and you're squished into this tiny corridor with big glass panels to view the pandas through. I wasn't even able to see my own feet, and people are moving ever so slowly because everyone's trying to get in front of the glass panel to take pictures. It's kind of like Mona Lisa, but the weather was horrible. So please avoid the summer season if you want to see pandas. And here are some of the stationery stores I visited. This place is called Now Pair. It has a lot of great stuff, and Milu. I really love these two places. There were a few that I was unable to find anything postcard wise to bring home, and I didn't buy anything from those. The second place I went to is Xi'an. It's my first time in a city and I really loved it. Xi'an is a city of a lot of history, and I was able to dress up as like in a traditional kind of style and take pictures. Although that day was rather uncomfortable because again the weather was very hot. I was in layers and they put a lot of decorations on my head, which made my neck very, very weary by the end of the day. Oh, what did happen was I watched movies. I watched the same movie twice. This is my favorite movie of the year. It's so good. Here are the other two. And here are all the places I visited. I won't even bother to translate it because I don't know how to. And here are some of the tickets of the shows I went to see. Overall, it was a very good experience. And then the third place I went to is Changsha. I visited there because my cousins live there and I haven't seen them in like such a long time. So that's why I went. I only stayed there for like one day. Oh, actually 2 days. It was hot. I think heat is the theme of my Chinese trip. This is when I came back to Canada and I received my first traveler's notebook. My friend went to Japan while I was in China, and I asked her to bring me a traveler's notebook, and I received it when I came back. I was very, very happy, so I pasted it here. This is my jet lag diary. At 2 a.m., I was so hungry, so I got up and ate something. And at 5 a.m., I ate one bagel. At 8 a.m., I officially ate breakfast and I slept. And at 2 p.m., I ate my official lunch. At 6 p.m., I ate some kind of a congee. That's why I was so hungry by 9 p.m. that I ate again. So it was basically a day of eating and not sleeping. On August 9th, I got a new desk. It's a standing desk. It's huge. It's way bigger than my current desk, which is the one at the bottom. So now I can have more room on my own desk because my cat now occupies less of a space. This is the day where I bathed my cat. And I was trying something new with the lines decoration. And I think I like how this turned out. This is the day that I tried to clean up a cat cat tree, and it's so caked with dirt and bugs and bug larvae that I gave up halfway through. This one I tried to replicate my September bullet journal layout, but I destroyed it, so I covered it with collage, and I actually like how this one turned out. It's very pretty. Blueberry you pick. So this is kind of like a family tradition that we do every summer. I am not a fan of rain or wind or thunder or snow even. I am very peculiar. I really like desert weather where it's dry and hot. This is the day that I made my own Yoseki charms. I really love those kind of charms that Traveler's Company makes for Traveler's Notebook, but they're very hard to get and they're rather expensive. So I made my own clay version of these charms, and you can see that I'm not using them because they do make a noise every time I take them out, like that. That is why, despite how excited I was at the beginning when I first made them, I never really used them. This day I was reflecting on the third last class of the year at this place I was teaching. I was really into Jellycat for some reason, I forgot why, before my trip, and I was able to get my hands on a peanut because a friend bought it for me all the way from London, and that is why I really wanted another one. But then after getting the second one, I'm like, you know what? I'm over Jellycat now. So I sold the second one, but I still really love the first one. Look at him. His name is Peanut, by the way. Because it is a gift from a friend. I watched The Bad Guys too, and it was honestly a lot better than what I expected, and I feel like it's better than the first one even, which is very rare in sequels. This is the day that I had my last class with a student. That was really sentimental for me because she's been with me for quite a while, starting from the beginning of the year until now. And she is one of my first storyboarding students ever, and I really loved teaching storyboarding. There are a lot to talk about. I probably will not save up a whole year worth of journal before I do a flip through again in the new year. This is the day that I did a podcast with my friends. The podcast went from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. It was so long, but we had a lot of fun talking about everything. This is the day that I got a Instax camera, and this is also the day my sister left for school and I went to SFU Summerfest, except I didn't go in because I did not buy a ticket online. and the ticket queue in person was taking way too long for my liking. Maybe next year. And this day is very, very special for me because I think a few days ago I finally announced on my main Instagram that I'm going back to school for something that's not animation related. And I received a lot of beautiful comments. So I printed out a few. There are too many. So I only did like a select few and I pasted them here. This is the day of UBC class tour and TN hunt, which is true because I went to my future school, which is now my current school, and did a tour of all my classes and of where I'm supposed to go every day, so I won't be too lost on the first day. And then I went to two Traveler's Notebook partner stores and bought a lot of things. I spent like $100 plus on that day. It was very, very bad. I bought a brass clip. I bought a pen loop. This is not from Traveler's Company. And I bought so many inserts. Okay, I watched Freak Gear Friday. It was actually very good for a sequel. Kind of confusing, and I think it lacks the clarity compared to the first one. But overall, it was a very chill and enjoyable movie. This spread I tried sort of a timeline format. So it went from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. ish, and when I went to sleep around 10. There were a lot of stuff that happened this day, so I probably won't go over everything. But then, don't you think it's a beautiful spread to be looking at? Okay, I am looking at the time and it's getting pretty long. So I think I won't talk for everything moving forward. I will only talk about the things that were important. So this is the day that I was preparing to move away from home because of school. And my cat, for some reason, really loved the suitcase I was packing. So he was making packing very difficult for me. Moving day -2, moving day -1, and this is moving day. It is possibly the worst place I rented out of the three places, but still, I wasn't able to um, view this place in person before I signed the contract. So I asked my mom to do that for me, and needless to say, I will not be trusting my mom to do that for me ever again. This is my orientation day. Remember saying I went to a tour of the school so that I won't feel too lost? Well, I was still very, very lost. The school is huge and I was very, very overwhelmed. This is the first full day. I was still very overwhelmed. And I was seriously thinking about getting a noise reduction or noise canceling headphone because um, it gets so loud at night from the heater and from the toilet that's making a weird random noise. So I was not sleeping well. But I was slightly less overwhelmed, which was good. I survived week 1 with headache, toothache, stomach ache, and lack of sleep. This is the day that I watched the movie that I watched twice, which is this one, a third time, because that's how much I love it. This was the day that I got some silicone earplugs, but then I realized, after reading the packaging instructions, that these are not for sleeping, only for swimming. I guess I should read stuff before I buy them. But here's a hot tip for you. Silicone earplugs are not for sleeping. This is the day that I went and tabled at a comic festival, which I totally regret going because the foot traffic was very, very minimal to say at best. And a lot of the sales I was able to make were actually from vendors that I felt really bad about. I was very tired, and the washing machine, it was only tossing my clothes around but actually not producing the water to wash it. Talking about the entire house breaking apart. I used my own print here because this is a misprint and didn't want to sell it. It was freezing that day. And then the next day, it was hot. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's just Vancouver. But this is a gift from my friend who went to Italy. And she gave me a postcard of David because I was also in Italy and I was not able to get a reservation into the museum to see David. Yes, I got myself a new mattress because my old mattress was causing me a lot of back pain. Got this from someone at New West Comic Fest. I realized I should have written everyone's names on these postcards or stickers right after I received them so I know what belongs to who. And this is also someone else's artwork. I feel kind of bad because I'm not crediting anyone, but just know that these are not mine. This is the day of Spark Animation Festival, and I also visited Paper Yacht to buy a new traveler's notebook. Yes, this was the height of my traveler's notebook obsession, and this was where I got my Tokyo edition. Ooh, this is when I set up my traveler's notebook. And also I bought a zipper case. This spread is interesting because I found this really interesting graphic on a magazine. I want to incorporate that into my spread and it's too big, so I turned this vertical. I think it looks nice. This was the day that my friend from LA visited me in Vancouver and she brought me a Cookie Bobby cookie. Cookie Bobby is a character of Gabby's Dollhouse movie. If you're wondering, Gabby's Dollhouse is a kids series. Why do I care? It's because I worked on it. It's my first movie credit, and I even made it into the art of book. This is one of my misprints. The color turned out to be overly saturated, so I decided to use that to decorate my own journal. Ooh, this is interesting. So this is a collage zine that I made in class. It's a book within a book. This is the day that I switched to a new Bujo system. After spending the weekend at home, I came back to the place I rented, and there was a huge daddy long leg waiting for me here. It was right beside my head, and when I turned around, I was like face to face with the daddy long leg. This was the day that I burned a pot of edamame to the ground. I what I did was I left this on high heat before I went to school, thinking that I should turn the heat off and let it cook with the remainder of the heat. So when I come back from the school, it's gonna be just cooked. And I forgot to turn the heat off. It was in an ash form by the time I came back. It was horrible, horrible. I spent a lot of time scrubbing this pot, trying to salvage it. This was the day that my whole class went to downtown Vancouver. We visited a school, we had lunch, and then we visited a gallery. This was funny because in one of the assignment, a person in our class taught us how to do Tai Chi, and at the end, they give us each of us a pack of this ancient guardians playing cards. I thought that was hilarious, so I kept everything, and I even wrote about it in my journal. I was sick because of the school visit. I went home and my parents, both of them, took turns massaging me for the entire day. On the head, on my foot, ear, neck, back, everywhere. Um, I was in a lot of pain, but then I did feel better at the end of the day, so I guess it worked. And also, I got into international CFE in Japan. CFE is a term that my program uses for volunteering your time and helping out at a local community organization. You can also opt for international versions. So I entered my name in the lottery and I got it. So I will be visiting Japan next year. Very excited. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. We didn't celebrate Thanksgiving, but it's Thanksgiving. I got my school, so I got my placement school where I do my teaching apprenticeship very late. So I was stressing out about it in the previous days, but then that day I finally got it. These are a few spreads of my experience at the school, and the reason why I blurred everything is because there might be sensitive information and I do not want to risk it. And now I can finally talk about it because this was the last day of my practicum and it was also Halloween. I did not dress up to the chagrin of some of my students, but I was just happy that I survived. And I had pho with my best friend, and it was a good day. I was trying to make an ocarina, and it's so hard, so I made my ocarina into a crying little man with a hat. Oh boy, these were a few tough days because I did not want to go to school. It was so weird to go back to university and be surrounded with people of my own age after spending 2 weeks in a high school classroom. Oh, yes, my wisdom teeth were acting up, and I made an appointment to get them removed. And this was the day that I tabled at Akimatsuri, and I got a lot of beautiful prints. Again, I don't have their names written down. It's a very bad habit. That was the day of Remembrance Day. We had no school, but I had two meetings that day for two separate group projects that we have to do. School is a lot. Oh, okay. So using the same pot, I burnt something again. This time it was soy milk, which was worse because although I only left it on for like 5, 6 minutes, soy milk bubbles up really quickly and the pulp made a mess everywhere. So it actually took longer to clean up the 5 minutes of soy milk than the 8 hours of edamame. I got myself a new water bottle and I watched Zootopia first one again, preparing myself for the second one. Okay, this was the day of the UBC Makers Market. I did not make as much as I did in Akimatsuri, but I had so much fun. A, because it's right there in the school, I didn't have to travel too much. And B, my friend came and helped me out. It was very nice chatting with her. And again, my table mate was super, super awesome. Okay, so I got my wisdom teeth removed. I looked like a half hamster. It wasn't very pretty because all my teeth grew in a weird way. I mean, I couldn't see the process, but I could feel it. I could feel the dentist cutting my teeth into. I don't want to describe it. It's too. It's too icky. Whew. And right after my removal, I went to a pharmacy to get my medication. And because I was still dripping with blood, I couldn't really talk. So I was only gesturing and letting my mom talk. The pharmacist interpreted that as I don't know how to speak English. So he took out Google Translate, and then I had to write on my phone saying that I can understand English, I just can't speak at the moment. It was very funny, and I kind of feel bad because I think he felt awkward about it. I was swamped, and my face got worse. I looked like I gained 10 pounds in one day, no joke. The swelling was slightly better that day, but that day, that Tuesday, was an adventure. So what happened was I brought my lunch, my congee, in a empty like strawberry jam jar because I can only eat congee soft food at that moment. And during lunch, when I took out the jar, I bumped it on the ground and it broke in half. The cut was very clean, and the majority of the congee was still in the top half. So what I did was I got rid of the bottom half and was still eating out of the top half of the broken jar. And after 2 bites, I tasted some glass and I thought, you know what? I would rather starve than die of ingesting glass. So I got rid of that jar as well, but I was still hungry. So I went to the school cafeteria asking if there's anything that's soft and that's dairy free. And the only thing that they can conjure was a baked chicken sandwich with no sauce, which contains dairy. So I spent $5 getting a small piece of baked chicken, which was kind of hard, between two pieces of pathetic bread. I did not eat the bread because it might contain dairy. I wasn't too sure. So I only chewed that piece of small chicken for lunch. What a day. I watched Zootopia 2 on this day, and it was kind of sad because I watched it with my friend who is going on a trip, and I won't see her in like half a year at least. And the movie was disappointing, honestly. It was still a good movie, but because I liked the first one too much, I expected too much from the second one. That's kind of my fault. Honestly, the movie was lacking depth, in my opinion. I will talk more about it in my movie journal. This was a depressing spread because I was very depressed that day, but I really do want to share with you this quote I wrote for myself. Chance encounters may lead to beautiful results. Keep trying, striving, and wondering. So, where this came from is this little bottle I made for myself. My classmate did a mini demonstration as part of her assignment, and she taught us how to make a message bottle. And this was the message I put in the bottle because I felt really bad that day. I decided to open the message, which I already forgot. So this was written on October 6th, and I opened it on November 27th. So almost 2 months. After taking this one out, I put a new one in. I still remember what I said, so I won't open it. It's for when I do not remember what I said. That's when I will open the surprise. I got a Switch and I got a letter from my sticker trade partner. So that was a really fun day. This was the day that we went skating. I put my Christmas tree up. I drew the gifts in a dotted line because we don't really celebrate Christmas. And if I don't make the effort to put up Christmas trees or to do some kind of decoration, my parents will just treat it as any other day of the year. So we don't give out presents, we don't do gifts exchange. And I feel bad for asking for a present because I'm old and I still live with my parents as spending their money. So I try not to burden them too much. So yeah, that's how we don't celebrate Christmas. So this was the day that I felt ill. I had severe cramps and I couldn't make it to a class, which was kind of sad because that was the last one. Wow, a lot happened. Okay, let me try to find out where exactly everything is. So we had a cookie trade, and I was making calendar designs for next year, and I drew, and my cat was singing the songs of his people. That is basically it. Oh, this was a fun day. So I went to this workshop, and as part of the workshop, the music cohort of the department did a performance. I did some doodles because there was a guy dressed up as a wizard and another guy dressed up as a horse. And there were elf singers too. That was the last day of class. I was so happy. We did gifts exchange, Secret Santa, and I received some chocolate from my Secret Santa. I moved the printer from where I was living at school back to home. And by that unplugging and replugging process, for some reason, it refused to print. So I spent a good 2 hours trying to figure it out. And my dad was performing acupuncture therapy on me. This was the day that I bought a whole chicken for my mom, and I was kind of scared because I never bought entire chickens before. I only have experience buying packaged chicken thighs or chicken breasts from Costco or any other grocery stores. It was a very sunny and beautiful day, which is very rare, and I watched Wicked. Okay, I had a nightmare regarding school. Apparently, I still have nightmare about that one class in school, and I think I'm forever traumatized by that professor. Anyway, we were playing Overcooked. We, as in me, my sister, and we newly recruited my dad. He was terrible at it. He was a platypus character, and he was holding an onion and didn't know what to do, so he was only walking around with an onion, which was not very helpful. I felt so stressed that day because I was refilling the ink cartridge of my printer. It's I bought a printer for my business, and the business hasn't really brought me any revenue, and the printer has stressed me out so many times. Okay, so we went to this Korean barbecue place. It was very good, and apparently it has existed for a better half of a decade. And we, although living within 5 minute drive from that place, we've never been. So it was a nice discovery of a new restaurant. Okay, so I went to this young adult church gathering thing, and I won a Grinch mug. And here are the wrapping paper on top of it. And I also watched Avatar Fire and Ash. I liked it, but I still have thoughts, which I will not get too deep into. And I played Zelda. No, I bought Zelda. My best friend gifted me a Nintendo gift card for Christmas, and I used that to buy Zelda. I was debating between Animal Crossing and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom for like 2 days. I researched into every video I can find, playthroughs, reviews, why you should or should not get one or the other on YouTube. And then when I finally decided that I probably prefer Zelda more, I spent another few days debating between Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. And that was a lot of research that I did not expect to undertake. But I finally decided on getting Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Hopefully, I made the right choice. I started playing it, and my sister is obsessed with it right now. My sister played it every single day since December 23rd. I only played it twice because she was hogging it too much. Okay, so Merry Christmas. This was the day of Christmas Eve. I still am confused about Christmas Eve and Christmas. So which day are we supposed to celebrate? And which day do people actually do gifts exchange? I have no idea. I was filming a no questions asked request from the friend that gave me the gift card, and her request was a reenactment of How to Train Your Dragon, the scene where Hiccup touched Toothless for the first time, that one, and with me and my cat. So my sister was dressed all in black to help me film. Actually, no, to help me hold my cat. So a bunch of friends got together and invited our own friends. And we had a sort of New Year slash Christmas celebration. I was so full that night. This is the last spread. Okay, we are finally done. This day I did nothing. No, nothing related to school or to art. What I did was I downloaded the demo of Dave the Diver and I played Overcooked and Zelda and I watched a movie and that is it. And somehow that took the entire day. I don't know how, but time flies. Well, time surely does fly. That brings us to the end of this long video. Thank you so much for staying with me. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on my journaling journey. And yeah, I guess this is it. Thank you so much, and I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye!